So goddamn every time went on, goddamn, when Pine started goddamn putting together the meal ticket thing, he reached out to me, he reached out to Lil Dad, he reached out to a cat named Mr. Prez in the hood, and he reached out to one of my little cousins named Kobe. But at the same time, me, they ain't really take me serious. I was on bullshit. Mr. Prez, that nigga wanted to lie. That nigga used to step down on a nigga young. We goddamn out there hustling and shit, his whole conversation. So that he helped me goddamn get my bars together, because that nigga used to step to me every day with some diss shit every motherfucking day, nigga. So, and that nigga go bar for bar, and that nigga was bad. So, shout out to Mr. Prez for helping me get these bars up, because that nigga there wasn't no pushover on no motherfucking bars. Mr. Prez was the truth. So, as goddamn meal tickets started to grow, whatever, Pine started putting together shows and goddamn started goddamn promoting Lil Daddy. So Lil Daddy came up with this goddamn song called goddamn if from Odo roll down the road, John roll back, here's apartment in this bitch. That one of the live motherfucking songs in my ear, especially the Noda Cat that coming up out of the hood, to hear that shit blowing up like that, it was like, damn, this nigga goddamn right to making some noise. These niggas really doing something. So Pine putting together a movement, whatever. But as time went on, I'm caught up in the goddamn streets and shit goddamn just wasn't working out for me. But a little situation came between me and Lil Daddy where we had goddamn a little misunderstanding and we didn't see eye to eye. And it because of some bullshit that I ain't gonna bring up is, we let bygone be bygone, we moved past that shit. And it was some bullshit went on behind it, so that kind of fucked up me and Lil Daddy's relationship at the time. So that broke off everything that I had was gonna go on with Meal Ticket. And he had a producer named Darwin. Shout out to Darwin. Darwin used to bring me down there to the studio every now and then. He had it down in the river. Darwin used to bring me down to the studio and let me record and shit, put on some beats and shit. So it was goddamn, that's how I started getting the feel of the studio. Then goddamn as time went on, before OIP Mr. Big, one time Pine threw a show in the neighborhood and he had Mr. Big. That was Mr. Big was doing his little movement on goddamn take that shit to trial and let me tell you about them hoes. And he came in that bitch with some shit with an open mic. And when he finished the show, he was like, shit, who want the mic? And shout out to them boys at the Green, how my partner T Clem, Giant White, and them niggas booed me up. Goddamn, I got on the mic in front of a crowd in the hood. So it was like, damn, that was my first time ever touching a goddamn stage and being able to goddamn rap in front of a crowd, and I fucked up. So, but at the same time, they were blowed, I was blowed, but it was like, damn, shit, I got some balls, I can rap. It gave me the opportunity to be able to want to do the shit. And shout out to Mr. Big, RIP to the legend, but Mr. Big was the first one to ever just give me a microphone in front of a stage. And to be standing beside somebody at that type of status, goddamn, at the time, I just old nigga from John Road. That nigga was on John Road early that day fucking with my OG Lou and them, kicking and smoking out. So I had the opportunity to meet him. Then he plugged in with some niggas in the hood that he goddamn right to tight with. So, you know, that was the opportunity that had him in the hood that day. So I had already highlighted him early that day on John, and they were just telling me, little nigga can rap, you know what I'm saying? But they wasn't on no serious shit because he was down there fucking around with the big homies. I was just more like a fan at the time. So RIP Mr. Big, Alabama legend, man, he was the first one to ever put that microphone in my hand in front of a crowd. Legendary moment. I wish we had the footage for that shit. And shout out to Pine, because it was at a Pine party that he allowed me to do that shit. And as time went on, goddamn, that shit up goddamn kind of gave me a little motivation. So I had a partner named TJ. Him and his brother T-Mac, you know, they had some shit to put together called Alabangers. You know, they was Blood, Crip, GD, and there was a lot of Alabama artists, goddamn, that was up under the gang banner, but they had united for the concentration of the music. So goddamn, they had goddamn, TJ reached out to me. Me and him put on a few tracks or whatever, put it out, see what we were gonna do. So that goddamn put me on wax, and that shit was just molding me. You feel what I'm saying? And then that time grew, the little thing, Alabama split up. Me on that bullshit in and out of prison. So when I fuck around and went to prison, this is when it sure enough got real. I ran to a nigga named Thug, cat named Chaos, goddamn Thug was out of Montgomery. Chaos was up out of goddamn Birmingham and Drastic, nigga from out of Eufaula. So we was at Elmo, a level 4 yard. So they used to do rap shows on the yard. So with the rap show, they used to put together goddamn events in the prison yard. And me And me, Drastic Thug, and Chaos came up with this goddamn this concept in prison called ourselves God Body. You feel what I'm saying? So all of us, Thug was a God, Drastic was a God, Chaos was a God, now Raw God. That's where the title Raw God come up from. So goddamn, we used to go in that bitch. We used to goddamn us folk. We used to hold it down Saturday or Friday and Saturday nights, just coming up with songs. That's all them niggas wanted us to do in prison. Sit down, come up with a song, and go compete against the other domes up in that bitch. And then I got moved to another camp, and I ran across a nigga named Zay, and he said, man, I ain't goddamn showed me how to put them bars together. A nigga like Dirt out of Birmingham, the Pedigree. A nigga ran across nigga Atlantis, Bean, ran across these niggas legendary in the penitentiary system. You feel what I'm saying? I was going to prison with these niggas, you know what I'm saying? Niggas up out of Dalton, all them nigga Pain and all them niggas. I was in prison with them niggas. Shit, doing bid at a young age, so I seen them niggas, Atlantis, that nigga known through the prison system. So I had the opportunity to run across these cats, learn how to spit ball, Octavius and niggas like that. Shout out to that nigga Octavius, because that nigga was hard. That nigga was hard. And, you know, them niggas right there made me get my balls up. When you fuck around in prison, then you go on to prison, y'all, you know, nigga giving you the honest boo, nigga, and niggas with the whatever if you ain't sounding like whatever. So that got me on out the way. And that right there kind of shaped me and molded me for to have tough skin and make sure that my balls were perfected and put together. So when I got back up out of prison, goddamn, I kept going back and forth to prison in the rise and watching meal ticket rise and watching goddamn Lil Daddy go up and blow up. But Lil Daddy ended up goddamn running into a situation where he got in a little street beef or whatever, and he ended up goddamn catching an assault case, and the folks set his ass down for about a couple years. You know what I'm saying? I can't give exactly how long because I can't remember, because I was being too. By the time I hit the back gate, Lil Daddy was just getting back out. So, you know, he had did a little stretch by almost 4.5 on the 15. He was at the big boy camp. Shot at the Lil Daddy. Came like that bitch a soldier. You know, niggas heard about him still putting down in prison. Still doing what he was doing. You know what I'm saying? So, the nigga still on that. So, you know what I'm saying?